Does your dog go bonkers every time there's a knock on the door? Then this episode is for you. Today, I'm going to teach you how to keep your dog under control when someone comes a-knocking. I'm Brooke Fagel from Palm Springs Dog Training, and you're watching Brooke's Weekly Treat. Welcome to part 1 of my barking series. There are a variety of reasons that your dog may be practicing unwanted barking. Today, we are going to specifically cover what to do when your dog is barking at the door. The thing about unwanted excessive barking is that it can be very difficult to control your dog when they're already in that excited state of mind. That's why it's super important to have really yummy treats that your dog really enjoys to help get their attention for today's lesson. Dogs bark for many reasons, whether it be arousal, they're fearful, they're irritated, or maybe they're even just a little too nervous. What's most important is finding out what that underlying reason is about why your dog is barking. While there may be times where you need to ask your dog to stop barking at the door, it's best to not wait until somebody is at your door to jump into the training session. In that moment, you're likely rushing to get to the door and your attention is divided. Today, we are going to teach you 2 exercises to help you and your dog conquer that unwanted door barking. First, we will show you what to do when your dog is caught off guard when there's a knock at the door. Then we're going to show you what to do to prevent your dog from barking excessively in the first place. As you can tell, I am prepared for this first part of our training lesson, so I absolutely recommend that you put a harness and a leash on your dog for the first part of this exercise. This is also another reason that I suggest when you're training your dog that you keep treats close by in an easy accessible container, or you go ahead and get yourself a treat bag, because it's very important that we have treats that are easily accessible at any time during this lesson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock at the door, Gray's going to start barking, and then I'm going to show her the behavior I do want her to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a treat, I'm going to put it in front of my dog's nose to get her attention. I'm going to bring her a couple steps away from the door, maybe ask her for a sit, ask her for some eye contact, yes, mark her, and immediately give her a treat for not barking. Now you might be asking yourself, are you rewarding the bark? I most certainly am not. The reason is because I asked Gray to do 3 separate exercises for me before I rewarded her. I lured her away from the door, I asked her to sit, and I got her attention on me, yes! And then I rewarded her with a treat. If your dog is overexcited by the knocking at your front door, start somewhere else first. For example, I have another door right here that leads into my living room. This is a great place to start with a dog that likes to bark like Gray. You can knock a couple times. If they get too overexcited by the knock at the door, get further away from the door and then ask them to sit and start your exercise here opposed to closer to the door. What this simply means is the further away you are from the thing that's stimulating your dog, in this case it's the door, the more success you're going to have to start. So step 1 is what you will do when unwanted barking catches you and your dog off guard. But this still has you on the defense, and it's not good enough if you expect to get long-term results in eliminating your dog's unwanted barking. It's much more important to be proactive and really prepare your dog for how you expect them to conduct themselves. This leads us to step 2. This next exercise is something you really need to do if you want to get your dog's excessive barking under control. This time I'm going to knock just once, and I'm going to try and get the treat to Gray before she even has a chance to bark. Before I knock, I'm going to make sure that my treat hand is ready, and I'm going to load it up with the treat in my knocking hand. I'm going to knock just once. The knock happens, and then I'm going to put the treat right in front of Gray's face to act as a lure, and I'm going to ask her for some eye contact. And then I'm going to reward her for not barking on that one knock. Let's try this again. Knock. Right here. Watch me. Yes. Awesome. Good job. Now let's try with knock twice. Ready? Watch me. Yes. Awesome. One. Watch me. Go from one knock to more knocks to several knocks. Ask for a watch me and mark Gray with a reward, and you can get her treat before she has the time to bark. When training a dog, the last thing you want them to do is rehearse a behavior you're trying to eliminate. In this case, we're talking about barking. For example, throughout the day, it is very probable that my dog may bark when they hear different noises, in this case, barking at the door. So what's most important is to put a management plan in place. For me, I have a big sign on the outside of my door that says, "Please don't knock." I do this for 2 weeks during the time I am training my dog not to bark at the door. This allows me to reteach her the new behavior I'd like her to do while eliminating the behavior I don't want her to do. Applying these management tools to your everyday life during your training sessions and in between your training sessions will allow you to have much success very quickly. That concludes this week's episode of Brooke's Weekly Treat. Don't forget, this is one of many episodes of barking to come, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and never miss another episode of Brooke's Weekly Treat.